Very important. If you're in a school that's telling you like, oh, your child needs to just wean off their IEP in the next few years because they're going to go to college, that is terrible advice. Hey, welcome to Motivation Moment. I am your friend Katie Fortune, and we are in the middle of an incredible series. It is called Let's Talk Dyslexia video series, okay? I think I just added the video. I don't know if I'm calling it that. I'm recording this a long time ago, just FYI. So, today is episode 4 in this amazing series. It is a 5-part series because there are 5 Mondays in October, if I did my math right. And October is Dyslexia Awareness Month. It's a big deal, okay? If you have missed any of the other episodes, go back and check them out because there is a lot of good information in there that has helped me, things that I've struggled with, and I hope that can help you or people that you know and love, okay? Thank you. So today I'm going to talk about some of the tips and tricks that I did when I went to college. So I went to a 4-year college, but this can go for anything, like a 2-year college, a tech college, which is tech college probably, 1 year, any kind of post-secondary experience. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you kind of get it, right? So I went to a university, and these are some of the things that I did that helped me succeed in college. Last week's episode, I talked about middle school and high school of things that helped me after I was diagnosed in that time range in my life. Okay, now I'm going to talk about college. After high school, I'm out on my own. Everything's up to me. So again, I went to a 4-year college, and I had my IEP that we transferred over into college. There's a whole system in how to do that, and I don't know all those details right now. We'll get that information to you sometime, but it's really important to do that. So keeping your IEP up in middle school and high school is super important so you can utilize those accommodations when you leave. When you leave to go to college or go to the workforce or whatever, you have an IEP or a 504 for a reason. It's a law to allow you to utilize those accommodations, okay? So don't forget that. Very important. If you're in a school that's telling you like, oh, your child needs to just wean off their IEP in the next few years because they're going to go to college, that is terrible advice. Keep that IEP up all the way through and then ask the person that works in the high school to help you figure out how you need to do that through college or whatever you go to next. Otherwise, most universities and tech colleges will have a disability services. I think they have to. It's a law. Contact them and they will help you as well. Okay, cool. So here's a few things. I talked last week about leaving the classroom for tests, getting extra time on tests on tape. I didn't talk about that actually, that's college, but getting it read to you. So some of the things that I transferred over that I utilized in high school and middle school, and then I used in college was leaving the classroom for tests, extra time on tests, and in college it would be having the test read to me via on tape, I think, or whatever. So, or you could have, again, a quiet space that you can go to and read it out loud to yourself, again, quietly, to be able to hear it. So I utilized that all through college. I had amazing professors that some of them were just like, hey, do you want to go take the test in the office over here or a quiet room over here so you don't have to go all the way up to disability services? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, because most of the time I could read it myself. I just needed to read it out loud to myself and just kind of read through it. And it wasn't like loud. I would just whisper it to myself. I'd be like, I'm reading something on my page right now. Dyslexia struggles, pre-diagnosis. Like I'd talk like that and be able to talk through it in a quiet space, but I didn't have anyone around me making noise and watching other people get up and be done. So that was really important for me. Another thing I had in college that was so helpful was the disability services offers for people in class that you're in to take notes for you. And that person will get paid to take the notes for me. I don't pay them. The disability services did. And so that was huge for my art history classes. I mean, these classes, you learned so much, and I needed to pay attention. And thankfully, again, at the college I went to, UW Stout, everyone gets laptops there. And so I would type them or I would record. I have to tell the teacher, by the way, but you can record. And I also had a note taker, and that was super helpful. And that note taker, we became friends, which was awesome. And also, you don't even have to tell the note taker who you are. Like, they just take the notes and get it over to disability services, and then they'll give it to you. But of course, I made friends with them. And then we had a study group. And so I would study with different people, and I'd create study groups, and I'd try to help, and different tips and tricks of other people, how they could remember things. And that's how I succeeded very well in really difficult classes, because of the note taker and the disability services helping me. And again, that note taker made money for doing that, and I didn't pay that, which is awesome. So that was huge. There's a lot of other things. Thankfully, I did go into school in college in the art and design program. So we didn't have a lot of tests and a lot of readings and things. It was a lot more hands-on in design and all of that. So I'm a very visual learner. So I didn't have a ton of tests or reports to write or any of that kind of stuff. I know there's so many more services in college that you can utilize through the disability services. So make sure you go and research that out and see what works best for you. But the last thing that I did that is so important, and I still do it to this day, but it is very, very important to me, was every single class I ever went in, okay? Now I'm gonna back up a second. In high school and middle school, your parents are involved, teachers have to know that you have a disability or different ability, and all of that's taken care of. In college, it's on you, okay? Not to scare you, but something that I did, and it was so successful for me, was after every single class, for the first day of class, I would walk up to that professor when class was done, shake their hand and say, "Hi, my name is Katie Fortune. Here is my disability service." I don't remember what it's called, I'm so sorry. But here is my paperwork sharing with you that I have a disability. I am dyslexic, and these are the accommodations that I need to succeed in your class. Technically, you didn't need to do that. All you need to do is say, go, you just hand them the paper. That's all you'd have to do. But I wanted to make that connection, that introduction, because it was important to me. Was it scary? Yes. But it was very important because I knew what I needed. And if I don't tell someone what I need, they will not know. Yeah, they have a piece of paper, but that connection helped so much more. And I would shake their hand, introduce myself, all of that stuff. Every single professor knows me. Still to this day. So much so, I'm actually teaching at that same university because of the connections and the amazing relationships that I made while I was there. It works. So that is something that I would suggest for you to try and do and get yourself out of your comfort zone, because you are the only person that can advocate for yourself. And I'm pointing at you if you are the person with the different ability, okay? Parents, you don't do that for your child after they leave, and you shouldn't. It is not your job. Your child needs to be able to do that for themselves. Now, there are different cases that totally you do need to, okay? So don't come at me. I know there are different cases, different severities of different abilities, disabilities that you may have to as a parent. Yes, I understand that. But if your student is leaving and going out and blossoming on their own, and they have a piece of paper that shows that they have a different ability and a disability and they need some help, it's up to them to be able to do that. And I highly suggest doing the whole shake your hand, introduce yourself, make that connection, let them know what you need. It is a great way to practice advocating for yourself in college, but also for after college. And if you want to start even earlier, parents, listen up here. Have your kid practice in high school and middle school. It's not going to hurt anything. Practice, that's something I wish I would have done. So there's a few tips and tricks that I did in college to succeed with a disability, dyslexia. And again, I succeeded very well because of some of these things that I did. So if you have any other tips and tricks, put them down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But thank you so much for listening this week, and stay tuned because there is one more episode of this series coming up next week. And if you have missed any other ones, go back and check them out now. Otherwise, subscribe so you don't miss. So thank you again. And as always, less hate, let's go motivate, and get out there and have an amazing day. I'm getting really tired. I have been cranking out podcasts and videos all day. I just want you to know, okay? So I'm talking faster. It's because I'm tired, but I'm almost there. I can see the finish line.